let's proceed. Prosecution, opening statement.
Right, so today we are bringing to trial Guy for theft. Sorry, this is my first time doing this.
That's your whole opening statement? Alright, Mr. Guy, opening statement.
Hi, my name's Guy. I'm the, I don't know what I am, accused civilian of what Miss Irene said? Theft? Is this where I, explain myself?
This is just an opportunity for you to introduce any early ideas.
Oh, so how I'm not guilty, and...
Yes, and what you intend to prove today.
Oh, I intend to prove that I'm not guilty of theft.
Straight to the point. Alright, prosecution. It's your opportunity to present evidence and call people to the stand.
Apologies, if you don't mind repeating as my ears are broken.
This is your opportunity to present evidence and call people to the stand.
Thank you. Okay, well, I suppose first I would like to call to the stand James.
Detective James Levitt, approach the stand. Mr. James, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Aye.
Prosecution, you may proceed.
All right. Could you please recount for us the things that you had found during your investigation?
Usually we lead with them stating their name and position.
Right, sorry. What is your name and position?
Alright, my name is James Levitt. I am the lead detective with the Necrosis Police Department.
Right. And so, you investigated this? When?
I did investigate this yesterday, after I was given a note from Victoria from Orion.
Wonderful. And what did you find?
Right, so after we got the go-ahead from Manovilla, myself and Zane, Captain Zane of the NPD, went over to Orion's house in J14. Upon arrival, there was no front door. Went inside. Orion was sleeping. We cleared the scene. I checked Orion's person. There was a free slot in his tool belt, and excuse me if you don't mind me backtracking a bit, if that's alright. So the note delivered by Victoria that was given to her from Orion said verbatim, woke up, M2 and ammo missing, was robbed. And then on the next line it says Orion. Now jumping back to where I left off, I searched Orion's person and saw that he had a free slot in his tool belt, and in his backpack there was no rifle ammunition to be found. I then proceeded to check his boxes for any fingerprints that may not have been his. Orion had 10 boxes, and at least 6 of those boxes had fingerprints from Guy. I then checked the contents of the boxes with my master key, but that did not provide any conclusive evidence, as he did not state if anything was taken from them or not.
That is all the questions I have for you.
Thank you, prosecution. Defense. Cross-examination?
Do you have 100%, are you 100% sure about that it was specifically my fingerprints on the boxes?
Aye, they all had your name.
I guess according to your abilities is that you can check boxes, but I have a question about if people can change their names and assume my identity and leave the fingerprints on said boxes.
Aye, that is possible.
Can you say that again? You were a little bit,
That is possible.
That's all I have to ask.
Thank you, Mr. Guy. James, you can leave the stand. Prosecution may continue to present evidence and call witnesses. Go ahead.
All right. I would like to call Guy to the stand.
Mr. Guy, approach the stand.
Okay.
Mr.
Sorry
Guy.
for jumping on the table. There's not a lot of room.
Sure, no problem. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
May proceed, prosecution.
I swear on my life.
Do you have an alibi for the said night in question?
That was the day, well, when Mr. James took me in, and Captain Zane and Officer Darrell, they said that it was the day of the town hall meeting, and so I was I think on that day, me and Mr. James went on a little adventure, and then he had to go to do something, and he dropped me off at the bandit outpost because it was safe there, and I didn't know where to go. But after that, Mr. James told me about Mr. Horace, the guy who sells. I don't think it's Horace actually. Justin maybe. He sells the guns. He told me where his location was a while back when I first came to Necrosis. So after he dropped me off to the bandit outpost, I went over there and bought me a gun and some bullets. And then I went to the infected dock because I was kind of interested about seeing what was there. And then I got gunned down by the blue people in the scientist suits. And then I went back to get my body, and then realized that it was almost time for the town meeting. And I called Mr. James because he offered me a ride to the town hall meeting because it was so far away. And so he came to pick me up. And then I proceededly went inside the helicopter with him on the way. And then I got teleported to the sky and fell down and died, and ran back to Mr. James so we could go to the town hall meeting.
I see. And why do you think someone would want to assume your identity and frame you for something?
Well, I did a lot of emotional wreckage in the last island when Monica died, and Mr. Carlos had it out for me. He shot me in the head after he stole from Mr. James's vending machine, and then he also probably had it out for me for killing him, for killing my shark friends. And it might have been unfair that I didn't get in trouble, I guess, but he did. But for all the problems that I did in the last island, for all the going haywire, shooting Miss Victoria in the face, and attempting to also shoot Mr. Tanner and James in the face with a double barrel shotgun. So it may seem unfair that I didn't do time or have my court session, but I do have alibis and can attest to that. Every single day that I was awake, I asked about it, and I already pleaded guilty for exploding and robbing Miss Victoria and Miss Ortiz's house.
Alright, and what would you say your affiliations are with Mr. Orion?
Well, the only time I really talked to him was when he was in jail. That was for a crime. I don't really know what. He told me a secret about how he was, that it was like a time. And he finally realizes what he should do in life. And that he saw that I'm safe. And he realized everyone else is going to feel his pain. And that's the only affiliation that I have with him. Oh, and then he talked to Mr. Carlos after Mr. Carlos shot me in the head. But they didn't know I was there because I was hiding in the gas station. Till I got attacked by a bear. Then Mr. Vu killed me again. They were talking about like how they want to partner up again. And that instead of being Vu, his codename is V now, and it was activated or something like that. And then after that, he shot me in the head.
I see. Well, considering your past with break-ins, what's to say now is different? What has changed?
Well, it wasn't me. And from the past break-ins, I full-heartedly admitted to it, and was very
You may
compliant
not have done it.
with everyone who came after me. I told Mr. James that I was waiting in my house by my campfire while you guys were looking for me, but it just took me a while because Mr. James is a busy guy, and Mr. T called me. He was wondering if everything was alright, and I told him, yeah, I'm just waiting. I'm just at my house for Mr. James to come and arrest me. And I went to the jail. I didn't cause any problems. And then when I went into jail, I went to sleep And then I woke up because Mr. Village told me that someone killed me in my sleep and exploded all of them while we were in jail. But I guess the pre-trace the question would be I would fully admit to it, and I've fully admitted to all my crimes before. I have no reason to take whatever was stolen from Mr. Orion when I can wholeheartedly do it myself, because I'm accessible and everyone is here.
Alright, I see. That is all my questions.
Alright, Mr. Guy, in lieu of cross-examination, if you'd like to further respond to any of the statements or clarify anything, now's your opportunity.
I feel like I was very clear with the statements.
So if that's the case, you can leave the stand.
Cross-examine.
Prosecution, any further witnesses or evidence?
I would like to...
Victoria, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Prosecution, you may proceed.
Alright, so you are the one who received the note, correct?
Yes.
And about when would you say you discovered said note?
Oh, it was yesterday, as soon as the island opened, about 10 a.m. CDT, I think.
Alright. How was the note put on you? Was there access to your home, or were you sort of out in the open?
Oh, Orion gave it to me himself. So that morning, we were just doing farming and stuff, and I saw Orion looking around our house. Apparently he was investigating because he lost his M2, and he said that he was doing investigation himself because he wouldn't be awake when the police is awake. So I kind of actually suggested to him to put it down in a note so I can give it to Zane.
And did he seem rather distraught? Or was it more just, I'm going to do this job?
Oh, well, he said to me that he wouldn't care about it if it was his, because he usually uses his bow anyway. But apparently that gun was borrowed from Mayor Norvilla, so he feels bad and wants to find whoever took it and get it back.
That is all my questions.
Defense? Cross-examination?
Mr. Orion said that he borrowed the M249 from Mrs. Norvilla.
Yes, that is correct.
Do you know what time and when he borrowed it from her, or did you not specify?
No, but when I took the note to James because Zane isn't awake, James told me that he was there when Orion borrowed it.
Okay, that's all.
Alright, thank you, defense. You may leave the stand. Thank you, Miss Victoria. Prosecution, any other evidence or witnesses?
I believe that is all.
Alright, if that's the case, does the prosecution rest?
Yes.
Alright. Mr. Guy, now is your opportunity to present evidence and witnesses on your behalf.
Is it okay if I call Mr. James to the stand?
Mr. James, approach the stand. You understand your oath from earlier still applies, Mr. James?
Aye.
Alright, Guy, proceed.
Okay, Mr. James, I just want to clarify, Mr. James, is it to your understanding that you did indeed pick me up from the infected dots and offered me a ride to the town hall? Yep.
That is true indeed.
And for offering me a ride majority of the past week, and have we been together the majority of the time, even though I kind of forced it?
Aye. We have spent a lot of time together this week.
Yeah, okay. And then I have a question about you. Okay. Seen Miss Norvilla give Orion an M249?
What would you like to know?
What was the time it happened? Was it before or after the town hall meeting?
Norvilla gave the M249 that she had to Orion the night before, and it was on... One second, let me confirm. It was on the hill, or the slope of the mountain just above Orion's house. I believe it's I-15 at the cave there.
Oh, okay. Not more thoroughly I have to ask. Thank you for your time.
Alright, prosecution, you can cross-examine if you so desire.
So you've spent some time with him. Were you with him during the times in question during which the break-in occurred?
No. During the times that I was given through the evidence, I was already at the town hall for the meeting. And that was before I picked him up.
Alright. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. James. You can step down. Defense, any further evidence or witnesses to call?
I guess Mr. Zane, if he's willing to comply.
Mr. Zane, approach the stand. Mr. Zane, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Indeed.
Okay, defense, you may proceed.
Mr. Zane, can you to introduce yourself as you were in the past island?
Yes, I am Zane in the islands past, in the islands of Oregon. I was the assistant mayor.
Oh, okay. And I would like to ask if you recollect any memories of us meeting every single time I met you, and clarify that I did ask when my court date was going to be set, or if I was going to do my time.
Indeed. You have come to me to ask about that time and time again. As I continue to push the police department to put you in custody so that we can continue to do that. And I understand that you were very, very upset that you were not able to serve your time.
Do you know why I was upset?
I do not know the reason other than you wanted to serve your time. I can only assume that you wanted to be a lawful citizen, but that is only an assumption.
I guess that's all I have to ask. Thank you for your time, Captain Zane.
Prosecution, if you'd like to cross-examine.
I don't believe I have anything.
Alright, thank you, Mr. Zane. You can step down. Mr. Guy, anything further?
I get it. I get it.
I kept it warm.
I think that's okay. I have got no more proceedings to go through.
Alright, so this is defense rest.
Yes, no.
Alright, swell. At this time, we'd like to give the defense an opportunity to present closing statements. So, Mr. Guy, go ahead. And please address the jury when you do so.
Hello, jury. It's me, Guy. I know that there's me. I've done some wrongdoings back in Oregon, but it was only because even though it's a really bad reason, so it doesn't justify what I did. And even as you can tell by the people that I brought up, I was very diligent in serving my time because I've lived the majority of my life in Oregon as an outcast, and I was very truly sorry and apologetic of what I did to Miss Victoria and Mr. T, and I just wanted to have people recognize me as a normal human being. After that, I just didn't commit theft that I really have no reason to. I do have a side business where I make a good amount of money. I have yeah, money, but I guess that's all.
Alright, thank you, Mr. Guy. Prosecution, closing statements, and please address the jury.
Alright. Well, as shown here today, we have had significant evidence in which could point Guy toward guilt. In this case of the missing M2 and ammo, namely fingerprints on the scene, as well as not really having any witnesses near him around the time of the crime. I trust that the jury will make an informed decision, and that well, and that enough evidence has been brought to the table for you to make said informed decisions. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, prosecution. If we could please, all of the police and the prosecutor, if you could escort Mr. Guy back to the holding cell while the jury deliberates here, that would be great. And I will come and recall you when a verdict is reached. Thank you so much. Jury, going to present you with a note. On that note, I'd like you to indicate the verdict and how many votes for guilty and not guilty. If it was unanimous in either way, you can simply write unanimous with the verdict. I will stay here while they're all gone to address anything needed, recall people if they're needed for any further explanations, but I will not be participating in the actual discussion. Alright, if everyone can be seated, except for the jury. Jury, have you reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
Jury, in the case of the People versus Guy, charge of theft, 1 count, how do you find?
We find the defendant, Guy, not guilty.
Thank you very much. Mr. Guy, if you could approach your stand, please, right in front of me. Mr. Guy, you have been found not guilty in a court of law, as directed by a jury of your peers. We thank you very much for your cooperation. Apologize for any of your time wasted. Please be careful out there, and if you see anything suspicious in the future, make sure you report it so you don't get reported. That is all. You're all dismissed. Thank you.